Well, hello, hello. I'm S. Anthony. My name is actually S. Anthony Thomas, and this is the S. Anthony Says podcast. Before I get started, I just wanted to say one thing. First of all, thank you. If you can hear this, thank you for checking me out. I hope you enjoy yourself with what's coming up right after this and what's going to be coming up in the future. I'm a comedian, and the title of this thing here, essentially, if you've seen the cover art, it says S. Anthony Says, comedian, work in perpetual progress. We're going to have a good time here, and there's going to be a lot of things here. There's going to be comedy here. There'll be interviews here. We're going to talk about the news. We're going to do a lot of really cool things here, and I want to thank you for checking me out. Now, just to let you know, if you're expecting to hear the exact same thing here again and again and again, that's never going to happen. I get bored easily with things, so I usually do move on to something else pretty quickly, and so we try to keep it light and fun, but sometimes we like to be serious. So we're going to have a great time here. Once again, I just want to thank you very, very much for checking me out, and we're going to have fun. So here we go. It's time for the first one. Let's get to it.
S. Anthony Thomas. S. Anthony Thomas. S. Anthony Thomas. S. Anthony Thomas. Go ahead and laugh.
I wish people would stop dissing the dollar store. There's nothing wrong with the dollar store. My friends used to give me a hard time because I would shop at the dollar store, and they weren't the only ones. At the time, I was a girl that was staying with me in my apartment. I had a better apartment than she did. She was my girlfriend at the time. And she would always go, "What are you doing shopping at this dollar store? It's gross. You have enough money that you don't have to do that. You're just being cheap. I can't believe you're doing this. You need to just stop it, and you need to..." And it would go on for an hour. I mean, if she had caught me with her sister, with her mom filming it, she wouldn't have yelled at me as long and as loud as when she realized I had brought stuff. Keep in mind, this is my apartment, into my house that she was in all the time from the dollar store. "I can't believe it." And I'm like, all right. You know how guys are. Sometimes when a woman's yelling at you, giving you a hard time, you just kind of shut your mouth and go, all right, whatever. So we go to bed. And, some good stuff happens. Yeah. I wake up in the middle of the night, and, and somehow I was facing away from her. Maybe we had shifted during the night, during sleeping. And I rolled back over to, I was going to give her a big hug and, go back to sleep holding her. And, okay, I'm going to tell you the truth. I just wanted to squeeze on her butt. All right, she had a beautiful black juicy ache behind, and I wanted to put my hands on it and squeeze it while I went to sleep. Okay? I admit it now. All right? So I roll over to squeeze her delicious buttocks, and I realize she's not there. So my first thought is, wait a minute. I know she did not get up at 4 o'clock in the morning and start smoking again. No. She promised me she was going to stop smoking, and I'm going to sneak out there, and I'm going to catch her smoking on the balcony, and I'm going to read her the riot act, damn it. But that's not what I saw when I walked out of the bedroom. You know what I saw? I'll tell you what I saw. She was bent over in the refrigerator eating. And she was obviously hiding in the refrigerator because she didn't want to hear, she didn't want me to hear what she was doing. And the only thing that could have been, she could have possibly been eating is the stuff that I bought from the dollar store. The place that made her yell at me for an hour. Okay, actually, to be honest with you, I didn't think that first because she was naked and bending over into the refrigerator. And my first thought was, man, that butt looks delicious. I want some of that. That was my first thought. And then my second thought was, man, that butt looks delicious. I want some more of that. And my third thought was, man, that butt looks delicious. I want some. Okay, my first 414 thoughts were, man, that butt looks delicious. I want some of that. Then I got upset. So I walk up behind her, and she's naked. And at the time, so am I. And I slide up behind her, and I poke her in the butt cheek. Of course, I didn't use my hands because there was something else available. She rockets up. Well, and she knows she's guilty. She knows she's wrong, but she screamed at me for an hour. And now she's standing there eating the stuff that I left. And I saw her standing there, and remember, she's still naked. But now she's naked and facing me, and there's mayonnaise on her mouth. And she's naked. And I'm naked, and she's They're naked with mayonnaise on the mouth, and she's naked. Did I mention that she was naked? I just want to let you know right now that I wasn't angry anymore. Nope, wasn't mad at all. In fact, I forgot that I was angry, and something else happened afterwards. I took her by the hand, and some other stuff happened. I'm not going to say what happened. I will tell you what it rhymes with. It rhymes with ducking. Serious ducking. Because we went back, and like I said, I'm not going to tell you what happened or be gross. I'm going to tell you what it rhymes with. First, I put her in the bed and micked her mamina. Then she gave me a long, slow moblob, followed by about 30 to 45 minutes of vaginal intercourse. And because it was close to my birthday, she let me have some manal Becks. So I'm just going to say that, dollar stores are good things. Dollar stores are good things. Not because they give you bargains that you normally wouldn't have had, but because at 4 o'clock in the morning, a few years ago, with that girl who I was with, but I'm not with now, but I still think of that fondly, I got some manal mechs when I normally wouldn't have got any manal mechs. And I really want to thank the dollar store for the bargains and for the deep manal mechs that I got. Thank you, dollar store. You're the greatest. It always amazes me how guys don't understand that other people's bodies belong to them and not to you. It's like a baby. Like a baby will just grab your face and, bite your face or lick your face, or, the baby just doesn't think in terms of you being separate from them. And some guys are the same way, man. I was watching these two guys. It was this young lady. She was like 19, 20 years old. And I'm buying a sandwich. And they follow her into the store. And at first, because of the physical closeness that they had, I thought that they were a couple or something. And then the other guy was maybe the tag along. As it turns out, it was just a guy following this girl down the street, trying to hug her. Hey, girl, come on now. Let me just get a hug. Come on now. She's like, no, get away from me. He said, come on, let me just touch your hair or something. And he's like, she said no, and he's trying to put his arms around her waist and kiss her on the cheek and stuff. And then these idiots look at me like I'm going to give them the seal of approval. I looked at him with this look of disgust on my face. And the kid was about to say something to me, and then he thought better of it because he probably realized he was about to get knocked the fuck out if he tried anything. And then he left. And the lady, the girl looks at me, kind of saying thank you with her face. And I just nodded at her, and then they left. But that always amazed me. I never understood guys that acted like that. They see a woman on the street that they like, and they figure they can just walk up and start touching her and stuff and saying all sorts of ridiculousness to her. Never understood that. Even when I had friends that did that, I didn't like it. I'd be walking down the street and they go, yo, girl, blah, 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 and he would say something rude, and I'd look at him like, yo, dude, what's up? Shut up, man. Not that I care what another dude does, but it's like, come on, man, just calm down. Because I wouldn't even want a woman that would respond to that bullshit. You understand what I'm saying? I wouldn't even want that. Because look how much self-esteem does she have if she responds to bullshit like that? Now, don't get me wrong. I love squeezing on some delicious butt and some delicious breasts. Because if a woman is mine, make no mistake, my hands are going to be on her delicious breasts and that delicious buttocks as much as possible. But call me crazy, I like to have permission to touch people. I don't like anybody touching me. Even if you're a gorgeous woman, if I don't know you, don't touch me. You know what I'm saying? And this goes to show you something funny that happened to me a little while ago. There's this guy that stops off at the donut shop. He's a homeless guy, and I give him some money whenever I see him. He won't. I try to get him some help, but he just won't do it. And I try to get him some place where he can get clean, but he just won't do it. So every time he shows up, he's always, I know that he's covered in, his human stuff, if you understand what I'm saying. Because he doesn't necessarily have the best bathroom facilities, but, unless you know right away, you can't tell that's what's about to happen. So when I give him money, he has this thing where he likes to hug people that give him money. I was like, nah, that's all right. I just told him, I really don't like people hugging me. No offense. I mean, really, I didn't want to say, you know what? I really don't want to be covered in piss and crap. Okay. Here's the money, chill. So I'm in the store, and a guy that I don't even dislike the guy, but he's a bit of a dick. He's one of those guys that you grew up with that always thought he was better than you. And I don't mean better than you at something. I mean better as an entity, just better. You're less, he's up here, you're down there. And he was horrible to me as a kid. And I figured, we're adults now, and I haven't seen him in a few years. I figured, let bygones be bygones. I'm gonna go up, shake the guy's hand, and we'll say hello to him. Nothing has changed with this guy. Nothing. He is the same walking pile of hot guano he was 20 years ago. Okay. And I'm doing pretty good, and he's doing pretty good too. But for some reason he thinks, oh, hello, yes. Blah, 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 blah. I'm not even going to repeat what he said, but basically it was essentially him trying to put me down, not realizing that kind of shit doesn't bother me. The hell do I care what somebody else thinks? And then he starts being really rude with it. And then he starts becoming really rude with other people and trying to insult people that come into the store and thinking I'm going to go along with it. And I'm thinking, nah, man. And I said, dude, will you just calm down? Just relax. He gets more rude and more obnoxious to the point where I wanted to slap the shit out of him. So I'm like, all right, man, you take care of yourself. And I walk out. And he's following me out being a dick. So I see the guy that I was talking about a little earlier, the homeless guy with the hygiene problem. And I give him $1. And all right, man, take care. And he says, okay, thanks, man. I'm walking away. And Mr. Obnoxious sees that I gave him $1 and decides he wants to one-up me. So what does he do? He goes, hold on, let me give you some real money. He actually said that. So I'm walking to my car and I'm looking back like, what a dickhead. He gives the guy the 10 and then looks at me and kind of smirks as if to say, you gave him 1, I gave him 10. And as I said, this guy loves to hug people that give him money. He gives him the biggest wrap-around bear hug you could possibly give. The kind of hug your grandpa would give you if he hadn't seen you for 5 years. The kind of hug you'd give a young child that you hadn't seen for a while. I mean, just hugged him it had to have been 10, 12 seconds. I know that because I was laughing the entire time, because I knew what was about to happen. So he goes, oh, yeah, and the guy gets off of him. And then he notices that he is now, let's just say, not the best smelling guy in the world. He stinks. Physically stinks. Which is ironic because, quite frankly, he stinks as a person also. And that was hilarious. Yeah, life is good. Hey, I almost got stabbed to death at a donut shop. How was your morning? It's not as dramatic as it sounds. It was just that I was at a donut shop this morning. This is a weird thing. And there were 2 teenage girls bragging about fighting 2 other teenage girls. Now, that's bad enough. But what actually happened was the teenage girls that were bragging about fighting were pregnant. And they were fighting 2 other pregnant teenage girls. So I'm standing at the counter. I'm trying to get my green tea, and they're talking over there. And, they're really animated about how they're going about their stories. And then she came downstairs with a butcher knife, and I knew that bitch was going to do it. So I had a big knife in my purse too, and I had a knife, and then they had guns in it, and I'm sitting there going, you're all pregnant, well, this is what I was thinking. I didn't say it to them. They're talking about fighting and about to stab somebody and shoot people, and it's a room full of pregnant people, and it didn't even occur to them that was a really dumb idea. So they look over at me, and they start smiling at me, and as if they think I want to become involved in listening to this ridiculousness. I didn't. And they were trying to involve people. You know how when a person is animated and they start looking at you while they're telling the story, hoping to draw you into the conversation. They tried to do that with everyone, but nobody wanted to hear this. We're all just thinking, what the hell is wrong with you? So she's animated and she's a little hyped up because of the story. She turns to buy her food at the counter, and the lady behind the counter was new and mistakenly thought that she hadn't paid for it. So instead of going, oh, no, I did pay for it, just ask the other lady, she slams her hand on the counter. Bam! I paid for it. What the fuck you mean I didn't pay for it? I'll turn this whole place out. You mother... That's what she started to sound like after a while. And then she looks at the lady behind the counter and says, you know what? You ain't nothing but a stupid. And then she uses an epithet, a racial epithet, that's usually directed at Chinese people. I'm not going to repeat it because I refuse to say words like that, but you get the idea, okay? And the lady behind the counter goes, no, I'm not Chinese, I'm Cambodian. She looks back at the lady and then says something to her that, as it turns out, was a specific racial epithet for Cambodian people. Because the lady behind the counter was surprised, that, first of all, that the lady knew it and that she would actually say it. And we're all looking at her like, what? And my first thought is literally, who has a Cambodian specific racial epithet in the holster ready to go? Most people don't even know what a racial epithet for a Cambodian is, especially if it's Cambodian specific. But she had that sucker ready to go in the holster. I mean, I just imagine her at home going, you know what, tomorrow we're going to have a nice loud discussion in a donut shop about our knife fight the night before, you know, when we were in that house full of other pregnant teenagers and we had knives in our purses and we were about to stab each other and get shot. And then the police came and dragged us all out. But just in case that lady behind the counter says something, let's go Google Cambodia and then find out the worst disgusting racial epithet we can say towards the Cambodians. I mean, I can't imagine it. Who has a Cambodian specific racial epithet ready to go? Not somebody I want to talk to, and definitely not somebody I want to stand next to, because this lady was just trouble personified. So now she's screaming and yelling and everybody's trying to calm her down. And then she starts getting ready to go into her purse. Now you can see that there's a knife in the purse. And she's about to pull it out. And she looks at me and she's angry I wasn't angry at me. Couldn't have been angry at me because I didn't say anything to her. She was probably just angry at the space I was standing in. And I'm sitting there going, is this babe going to stab me because I happen to be standing next to her? Is she crazy? Well, I'm alive, so it didn't happen. But it just goes to show you, most people think it's dangerous to go to a nightclub and it's dangerous to hang around in rough neighborhoods. And I'm telling you right now, after this morning, I'm thinking one of the most dangerous places in the world is a donut shop. Parents, keep your kids from donut shops, if you know what's good for you. This is a message from Miley Cyrus from S. Anthony. Miley, you've been getting in a lot of trouble lately for the way you've dressed and some of the magazine articles you've done and some of the way you've been posing and revealing outfits. And most recently, you've gotten in trouble for, your dancing at the VMAs, the outfits you wore, and also for you twerking in front of Robin Thicke's junk. But I'm telling you something right now, Miley. If that's what you want to do, if that's what you need to do, you keep doing it. And in fact, I would like to offer you something. If you ever feel the need to bend over and rub your 20-year-old ass on some available junk, I want to let you know, Miley, I'm there for you. That's right. Any time of the day or night, if you feel the need to bend over and rub your 20-year-old ass on some available junk, you call S. Anthony and I'll help you out. And I'm not the kind of person that likes to be too selective, meaning keeping people out. This is a message to any attractive 20-year-old woman, especially if you're rich like she is. If you need to rub your junk, your buttocks on someone's junk, I'll be there for you too. That's right. Your butt's in the air and you want to put it on something, my junk's available. In fact, if there's any attractive women out there who want to rub their butts on my junk, I'm also available for you too. So if you're a woman and you want to rub your butt on something, my junk's available. Don't get the wrong idea. Don't think that I'm trying to get some kind of disgusting sexual gratification of rubbing my junk against 20-year-old women. No, that's wrong. This is about me giving back to the community, the world community. Not just any man will make his junk available for attractive 20-year-old women to rub their butts on it. But I'll do it because it needs to be done. And when things like this need to be done, you come to me, S. Anthony, the man whose junk is available for 20-year-old women. Yeah, I like to give back. Now, if you like more help like this, please subscribe to this channel and like everything that I do, because it's worthy. It's worthy of being liked because, like I said, not just any man would make his junk available for attractive 20-year-old women to rub their butts on. Yeah. Well, folks, you can't say I didn't warn you. It's just going to get weirder from here. I just want to thank you guys for checking it out. Hope you come back for more, because there will be more. And I had fun. I hope you did too. Once again, thanks for checking it out. And until next time, S. Anthony out.
S. Anthony Thomas. S. Anthony Thomas. S. Anthony Thomas. S. Anthony Thomas. ahead and giggle. We're gonna get wild. Go ahead and clap. Go ahead and cheer. We're gonna have a good time while up in here.